How to construct a killer strategic positioning statement. Many in the field call it a unique selling proposition, a USP. I personally have a problem with that. A USP is you-centered and not client-focused. How are you adding value to your clients? That is the question you need to ask yourself. Entrepreneur Magazine describes a unique selling proposition, a USP. It's defined as the factor or consideration presented by a seller as the reason that one product or service is different from and better than that of the competition. They further state that before you can begin to sell your product or service to anyone else, you have to sell yourself on it. Chetholm puts it this way. The problem with this thinking is that it's focused on you. It asks the question, what is special about us, or what do we have or do better than our competitors? A strategic positioning statement is about your client, your customer, and how can you add value to the relationship. And when it's done properly, amazingly, it will even entice the client to ask you for more information. It happens every time. First, let's go back to the 1940s, where according to Wikipedia, a USP was the concept first proposed as a theory to explain the pattern in successful advertising campaigns. You've done it. Listen, you've seen it. You've seen it happen time and time again. Watch. Here's an example of a conversation. Hi, what do you do? I'm a doctor. Oh, great. What kind of a doctor? I'm a dentist. Oh, I hate dentists. Hello, what do you do? I'm an accountant. Nice. Busy time of the year, huh? Hi, what do you do? I'm a bookkeeper. Oh, great. A pencil pusher. Hi, what do you do? I work for XBC Marketing. We are the #1 seller of X, and we won B awards and etc., etc. Later, dude. Someone just puked all over a potential client and wonder why they're starving to death. Listen, the question, what do you do, is not asking about anyone's particular profession. The other person is asking, what do you do? If we can't listen, we can't sell. Okay, let's work through a strategic positioning statement on SPS. Listen, a strategic positioning statement will not only set you apart from the rest, but will cut right through the clutter of a prospect's mind and right into his heart. And SPS is 100% client focused. Wow, what a concept. Listen, a strategic positioning statement is 100% client focused. What a concept, right? God forbid, you may want your customer to benefit from your relationship, right? Your strategic positioning statement is a professional statement that covers the benefits of your relationship and how some of your clients' pain points will be resolved because of your relationship with them. We will talk about how to build a solid strategic positioning statement, but first, understand the mechanics. In any conversation, you need to take control. Don't let the future prospect, a suspect at this time, actually take control or ask you what is it that you do. Deflect the question. Be the first one. Start asking questions. Dig. And get to know the potential client. Find his pain points. Find out as much as you can about them, their business, their goal, their aspirations, their family. If you see opportunities during the conversation to talk about family, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and build a relationship. Those are golden opportunities to create and build rapport. 82% of purchases are made from people a client likes. Only 18% of them are made in price. Isn't that a revelation? Your strategic position statement has a basic structure that can be modeled and shaped for use during any and every introduction or presentation or elevator pitch. Its ultimate goal is to have the client ask you for more information, i.e. a presentation. Like what? Exactly. Listen, we're gonna walk through this. A strategic positioning statement is open-ended by construction and design. In part 2 of this presentation, we will show you how to create a killer sales presentation to use during the follow-up that will set you apart from everybody else. It will establish you as the leader in a category and the go-to person or any company for the current or future needs. So to be clear, your introduction and strategic position statement is just that, an introduction to what it is available for them. Why, and in some cases with a basic set of limitations. We will address this in more details later because it does happen, and there are some instances where you want to use it that way. You see it used every day. It's used on you. Get X product because usually 3 benefits. There's the gain. Okay, it will improve, help, or assist. Here's the logic. Okay, you're going to get it because it's going to do that. But we have them on a limited amount. That is the scarcity. You see that QVC, the Home Shopping Network, they use it. What do they use to count down the numbers? Because they show that there's a limited amount. You need to jump in and get it now or you're going to miss out on it. That's the scarcity of it. Okay, on a regular strategic positioning statement, your new USP will consist of simple statements that will cover the benefits that you will bring to a relationship by taking care of the client's pain points. One of my mentors always said that we need to think and plan like a strategist and implement like a great tactician. Hey, let's look at a couple of amazing strategic positioning statements. Domino's Pizza uses 10 simple words that put them on everyone's speed dial. Fresh, hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less. Guaranteed. Simple. Fresh, hot, and now. Here's some other examples. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Are there any questions? Wharton Business School, the only business school that trains managers who are global, cross-functional, good leaders, and leveraged by technology. Do we have any questions? Northern Nevada Business Weekly, the only source for local business news. Are there any other sources? Not according to their strategic positioning statement. Miller Lite, the only beer with superior taste and low caloric content. Okay? Pain points? Got it. Benefits? Got it. Before we begin, we want to be clear about one thing. We're all in business to make other people's problems go away and to benefit in the process. One of my other mentors, Jim Rohn, once said to me, if you make enough people's problems go away, yours will disappear. I think we all understand what that means. Second, important factor of strategic positioning statement is to keep in mind that it's all about how we want to be perceived by a prospect, the solution to a problem they have. We are the solution. Now let's build a strategic positioning statement. What are we here to do? Help. Formula 1. I help who solve their problems without their fears and pain points. The first word is help. Who helps? You do. I help. Who or what is your target market? Remember that conversation that you had with them earlier, okay? And then remember the pointers that you picked up. Those are the ones that we're going to be working through. Who was he or she? What do they do? You know this because you ask questions, lots of questions, and you're keeping them in mind so you can build your what is it that you do when your turn comes to speak. So we now know what they, he or she are: real estate agents, doctors, accountants, sales professionals. Hey, listen, there's very few of them out there. Bank VPs. Okay, let me give you a couple of examples. You're a doctor, and you just done having an interesting conversation with a middle-aged man in his early 50s, and he then asks you, what do you do? Bam! There we go. Okay, you just had a conversation. You got some information from him. You know that he is on his middle 50. Now, here's the doctor's strategic positioning statement. Is specifically tailored to that individual and that conversation. I help men in their early 50s stay healthy, strong, and viral by coaching them and helping them achieve life goals and not get burnt out in the process. What do you think is going to happen next? How do you do that? We need to talk. That's interesting because we need to make an appointment. Okay, so it just leaves it open. You're not there saying, well, I'm a doctor, you need to come see me. No, be indirect and be open. It's going to happen. When constructing a strategic position statement, always keep the P's in play. People, pains, problems, possibilities, products, and program. Okay, think about it. Who are we targeting? The people. What are their pains? What are their problems? What are the possibilities and the product or program you have that will cover their pains and open their minds to the possibilities? Listen, I think you get it, but let's do one more. How about an account? How would you introduce himself to a small business owner after having a conversation with him and finding out that he or she is married, has 2 teenage kids, has a good job, and is worried about their financial future? Here would be the account. Hey, what do? I help stable professionals transition from the wage system to the profit system, maximizing tax deductions not available to most people with teenagers at home so that they can have freedom of choice and financial security. You think he's going to be asking some questions? I think so too. Okay, here's the dentist. I help people have self-confidence and radiant smiles. Short and simple. Well, I'm a dentist who specializes in radiant smiles, in something. Use a Tripwire. And this is a good juncture to define what a Tripwire is. A Tripwire is an irresistible, super low entry offer point into a sales funnel. It exists for only one primary function: to convert a suspect into a prospect who can then become a buyer. Now, the prior have been just a few examples of strategic positioning statements, tailored and created for individuals after a conversation. I think that you get the point. Ask a question. Get to know your client. Tailor your message to your client's needs. Take care of their problems, okay? And yours will disappear. Now, for marketing purposes, a larger audience is a little different, as your audience is not one but many. But still, keep in mind that the numbers don't change as far as when talking to one or many. The difference lies in when talking to one, your message can be honed in like a laser beam and hit the target right between the eyes. For a larger audience, you need to look at 2 elements: the attitude and demographics. You will not be able to appeal to everybody. It's impossible. It doesn't happen. So you need to dig deep and define your avatar and hit as many as you can. There's also a 12-step sales letter formula for writing sales copy that we will go into more detail in another tutorial, that we will cover the different call to actions and when they should be executed and in what order. Now, having said that, we all need to understand the buyer's pyramid. At any given time, there's only 3% of the population looking for your product, no matter what it is. It's only 3%. You have an additional 6 or 7% who are open to your product but are not actively buying. The remaining 90% of the people fit into one of three categories. 30%, I'm not really thinking about buying your product. 30%, don't think I'm interested in your product, the soft no. And 30%, I'm not interested, I hate your product, get out of my face, I don't want to see you no more. All right, that's it. That's what's out there. So we just went from the pool into the ocean. And this is what happened. And in the case you were wondering, yep, that's where the sharks are, and they will eat you alive if you're a small fish. So we need to stay in the pool. There's more money to be made in the pool than there is in the ocean. We're going to tackle that part of the strategic positioning statement in a further tutorial as it is more complex. But right now you need to sit, grab a piece of paper and pencil, and start working on your strategic positioning statement. After you join a members area on our Facebook closed group, you can post your SPS for comments and review. We can only review so many at a time. So this is not an offer I make and live open on a table indefinitely.